healthy. Suddenly, Van jumped into the conversation, his competitive spirit taking over. All right, that is it, Mrs. H. Drop it. Drop it, Mrs. H. Drop the pizza. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Van, stop it. Reba scolded, waving him away. She turned her attention back to the woman standing before her. Mrs. H. I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different? Reba stepped closer, her brow furrowing in genuine confusion. As she looked at Barbara Jean, really looked at her, she realized something was drastically wrong with the picture in her mind versus the reality standing in front of her. You who? I am here, Barbara Jean shouted, spinning around in a full circle, throwing her arms up in the air. And I am thin. Reba blinked, rubbing her eyes. She looked again. The woman in front of her was not the Barbara Jean she remembered. This woman was slender, toned, and wearing an outfit that looked like it belonged on a fitness magazine cover. Van tilted his head, studying Barbara Jean with profound confusion. Yeah, thin as a stick, and dumb as one.
Ben stared blankly.
Yikes! What is eating Cooper grape? Look at that. They look like the number 10. Reba closed her eyes tightly, pinching the bridge of her nose. Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare. You who? I am here, and I am thin. Barbara Jean's voice echoed again, piercing through Reba's denial. Reba opened her eyes. It was not a nightmare. It was real. And the nightmare continues, Reba muttered under her breath. A loud, upbeat country song suddenly blasted from Barbara Jean's pocket. It was her cellular telephone ringing. She pulled it out and answered it, but the lyrics echoed in Reba's mind. My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I want to be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops. With gentle hands and the heart of a fighter, I am a survivor. Mom, Ben whined, pulling Reba from her thoughts. Make us some pancakes. Reba shook her head, feeling a sudden surge of motivation brought on by pure shock. No. I am making everyone a power smoothie. And this afternoon, I am taking a power walk. Van let out a short, mocking laugh. Power walk? Oh, forget your power cane. That is an old person thing. Cheyenne glared at her husband. Van, that is not nice. Mom does aerobics. She could shatter her hip? Van countered, shrugging his shoulders. Reba glared at her son-in-law, pointing a firm finger at him. And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless. Remember that. Just then, Brock walked into the kitchen, looking exhausted. Hey, everybody, he mumbled, rubbing his temples. Barbara Jean bounced over to him. I am here and I am. Brock held up a hand, clearly not in the mood for her boundless energy. Oh, shut up and have a donut. The next morning brought a fresh wave of chaos to the household. Reba was standing by the counter, aggressively blending a mixture of spinach, bananas, and a mysterious green powder she had found at the health food store. The blender whirred loudly, drowning out the ambient noise of the morning. Barbara Jean strolled into the kitchen, wearing a brightly colored athletic tracksuit. She looked radiant, practically glowing with health and vitality. She leaned against the counter, watching Reba pour the thick, green sludge into a tall glass. Oh, Reba, Barbara Jean said, her tone dripping with mock sympathy. You are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies, are you? Reba stopped, holding the glass halfway to her mouth. She leveled a flat stare at her friend. Excuse me? Jordan, my personal trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbohydrates, Barbara Jean explained, waving her hand dismissively. Reba took a deep breath, setting the glass down. Barbara Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle. I really am. But seriously, I mean, there has to be some sort of limit. Reba paused, noticing that Van and Ben were sitting at the breakfast table. Their eyes locked onto Barbara Jean, unblinking. Will you boys stop staring at her? Van blinked, looking caught. What? We have been staring at her for, like, the past 2 hours. Well, she is pretty, Ben added, shrugging his shoulders. Barbara Jean clasped her hands to her chest, batting her eyelashes. I am pretty. Reba rolled her eyes. Well, of course you are. You have always been pretty. But, Reba gestured vaguely toward Barbara Jean's new physique. She is new pretty. Oh, Van! Cheyenne snapped from across the room, slamming her cereal spoon into her bowl. That is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife. Van realized his mistake instantly. He scrambled to his feet, walking over to Barbara Jean with a frantic expression. Van, you really think that I am new pretty? Barbara Jean asked, leaning in. Oh, yeah? Van said, nodding enthusiastically, completely ignoring his wife's glaring eyes. You are like a bleached-out Halle Berry. Barbara Jean beamed. Thank you. You are welcome, Van said proudly. He turned and marched out of the kitchen, announcing, I am going to go make some calls. Ben leaned across the table, whispering loudly to Barbara Jean. So, Barbara Jean, yeah, is it true that when you lose a bunch of weight, you want to do, you know?
Bounce ka bounce. Hon.
Cheyenne screamed from the hallway, having heard the entire exchange. Van rushed back into the room, looking terrified. Oh, Cheyenne, do not be upset. You are still hot. You are like a bleached-out Jan Brady. Yes.
Januari Jan Brady.
Cheyenne crossed her arms, looking thoroughly unimpressed. I am Marcia.
Marcia, Marcia, Marcia.
Barbara Jean laughed, clapping her hands together. So, Reba, I got an idea. You should come down to the gymnasium and meet Jordan, my trainer. Reba took a sip of her green smoothie and immediately grimaced. No, thank you. Seriously, Barbara Jean pressed, stepping closer. He will change your life. I mean, he is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right. We go over the clothes I am going to wear, the movies I am going to see. Reba raised an eyebrow. Whoa, the movies you are going to see? What does that have to do with you getting in shape? Oh, nothing, Barbara Jean giggled. We just have the same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he is playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just buy it. So, you will come meet Jordan. No, Reba said firmly, turning back to the sink to wash out the blender. Oh, come on, Reba, Barbara Jean pleaded, pouting her lips. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend. The kitchen went dead silent. Barbara Jean's eyes went wide. She slapped a hand over her mouth. Boyfriend? Oh, whoops. That came out wrong. Oh my. Reba turned around slowly, a smirk playing on her lips. Well, thanks anyway. But I am just going to be here with my smoothie. She took another sip and forced a smile. Delicious. Just like fruit gravy. Just then, Brock walked into the kitchen. He was dressed in his work clothes, but he looked disheveled and deeply stressed. He spotted Barbara Jean and forced a bright, completely unnatural smile. Oh, hey, Barbara Jean, Brock said, his voice artificially cheerful. Here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us. Barbara Jean looked at the clock on the wall and sighed. Oh, honey, I cannot. I am going to the gymnasium. Brock's smile tightened. Well, cannot you skip it just this once? Come on. I will take you to that romantic French place you like so much. Really? Barbara Jean's eyes lit up for a second before she shook her head. Skip the gymnasium and eat French food? No can fondue bras. She waved enthusiastically and jogged out the back door. Brock stood frozen in the center of the kitchen, watching the door close. His shoulders slumped. Man, she blew me off again. All she wants to do is go down to the gymnasium and spend time with Jordan. Her trainer, Reba clarified, wiping down the counter. Exactly, Brock muttered, running a hand over his face. Frankly, I like the new physical appearance, but the new attitude not so much. Reba chuckled softly. Oh, that is really funny coming from the old you. Jordan is so great. Jordan is so toned and funny. Well, I got news for you, Brock snapped, His insecurity flared.